Welcome to Burn On, Not Out, the podcast for high achievers who check the boxes, hit the goals, built the life, but know there has to be another way. I'm Brooke Dukes, your no BS business bestie, and I'm here to cut through the fluff with real stories, sharp insights, and the kind of truth that opens your eyes to a new way of creating success with ease and flow. No hacks, no hustle worship, no pretending constant activity is momentum. Just the raw, practical, and powerful shifts that happen when you stop leading from fear and start leading without the armor, with clarity and authenticity. Let's get into it. I'm going to share with you 6 things that will set you up for an amazing 2026. Now, this is before you vision board, before you plan Q1, write your goals, take all the actions. You need to anchor your nervous system, right? If your body is not in alignment, if your nervous system is going crazy, you're making all of your decisions out of fear. Oh, shit, 2025 sucked. I've got to really make it happen in 2026. Let's put this plan together. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, you will just amplify those fear loops. And 2026 is not going to turn out anything like you wanted it. Number 1, stabilize before you strategize. What does that mean? That means use December to downshift, to relax, to reflect, to grieve, to celebrate, to integrate all of the things that you learned in 2025. Reflect back on those. Because if you're anything like me, 2025 have had moments, they sucked. It was really hard and it was challenging. It is what, and I don't know a lot about this, however, I have been told that it's the 9th year. And the 9th year is all about letting go of the things that no longer serve your new identity. So you don't want to bring baggage into 2026 that's going to drag you down. You want to go into 2026 new, refreshed, with all of the things that no longer serve you out of the way. So take December to do that. Reconnect to your true desires, not goals that you set by comparison or pressure or fear or all the things. I want you to ask yourself, am I building my business from alignment or am I building it out of fear? Am I building it out of a discomfort that I just want to get away from? Am I building it taking massive action because I'm afraid to sit still, because I'm afraid to think about what's going on, to really look at what's happening in my life? I know me, so many times in my life, when I would feel that anxiety or that discomfort, or I'd stepped out of my comfort zone, I would take immediate action because it made me feel better. Well, those actions, those decisions were made out of fear. Making a decision out of fear is like shooting a bent arrow at a target. You're never going to get there. So we want to make sure that we're taking December to just decompress before we make any of our plans, before we do any of that, making sure it's coming from a neutral place of our emotions and we're able to see with clarity. Then I want you to return to your inner authority. For those of you that have been following me, you know I do a ton in human design. And so what that means, we all have our own inner authority. And we want to, this month, reclaim that sovereignty from the mind and anchor deeply into your strategy and authority. So if you're an emotional authority, you want to ride your wave. Don't rush into this year's decisions. I am a manifesting generator with an emotional authority. And what I know is I used to pride myself on making really quick decisions. I could just get it out. And I have had a very successful life. However, I also gave myself COVID and shingles at the same time. I have been burnt out several times in my life. And I, with 100% certainty, know that if I let my emotions settle, typically that takes overnight. And I'm not talking about what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm talking about a big decision. If I let my emotions settle, I have some clarity. And then I'm not making that decision out of fear. I'm making it from abundance. And I'm only going to get about 80% clarity as an emotional authority. And it's okay. We just need to take action. My friend Emma says, take imperfect action. You can't fuck this up. It's okay. If you make a mistake, I don't know about you, but I have had my biggest lessons from my mistakes, not my successes. So just take action. If you're a sacral authority, follow your gut response. What lights you up? So really, what is it when you get that hit? Holy shit, like, yes, I have energy for this. Let's go. Then go for it. If you're a splenic authority, tune into what feels instantly right, even if you can't explain it. Because splenic authority, it can be quiet. It can be a whisper, and it's quick. It's not like that punch to the gut like a sacral authority. It's really very calm. It whispers and it's fleeting. It goes away. So you really got to tap in. Because manifestation without following your authority is just forced action in disguise. And for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, on step number 2, go to our website, brookemdukes.com. Get your free human design chart, find out what your authority is. You'll get some emails about it and you can learn what I'm talking about. So, step 3, clear the shadow in conditioning. December is energetically linked to endings, completions, and the death of the old identity layers. This December, more than others even, because of it's a 9th year. That's why it often feels so intense, nostalgic, or chaotic. I know for me personally, I've had a lot of people leave my life this year. I've had some realizations that, damn, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't make me right. It doesn't make them wrong. It's just not fitting where I'm going. We're not on the same frequency anymore. And I've also had some profound experiences with new people that have come into my life that fit perfectly because I'm living by my strategy and my authority. I'm making decisions now from a neutral place of emotions, not out of fear. And my fractal line is coming in. The line of people that are just, they share my vision. We can completely support each other. We get each other. So really just, instead of resisting it, ask, what patterns, personas, or stories am I ready to release? Your shadow, your conditioning, your need to play nice, fuck that, right? Or be good or dim your light. All of it needs to be acknowledged and loved before it can be transmuted into power. Don't beat yourself up. If you spent 2025 dimming your light, being a people pleaser, that's fine. You needed to go through that, reflect on it, and decide how you're going to show up differently in 2026. When we beat ourselves up over something, all it does is anchor that in. We need to be grateful for all of the experiences that happen. They happen for a reason. Take the lessons from it. When we beat ourselves up about it, when we judge ourselves or other people, all we're doing is we're missing the lesson. Reflect on what you learned this year. Step number 4, feed the frequency, not the to-do list. Anchor that shit in. Use this month to calibrate to the feeling of 2026. So don't just think about what you want. And I often get this if I'm coaching someone and it inevitably, I'm an executive coach, always comes back to personal. A lot of times it's people that they want to find a partner and they will give me all of the physical attributes. Okay, great. And how do you want to feel when you're in that person's presence? Because here's the thing. If a person showed up that was the exact opposite of what you think you want, but they made you feel that way, you wouldn't give a shit about that physicality. You want that feeling. Well, the same thing happens when we're talking about business. Don't anchor in the path to get there. Anchor in the feeling, because when you anchor in and you say, oh, I know exactly how I'm gonna get there. Well, no, you don't, or you would already be there. You want to anchor in the feeling, what it's going to feel like when you accomplish that. Then you're allowing the universe to bring you things, bring you new paths, bring you new people, bring you new ways of accomplishing it you never even thought possible. That's what you want, right? You really want to look at, who do you choose to be? What does prosperity feel like in your body? Feel it. Journal, walk in nature, meditate, get in touch with how it's going to feel when you have reached that. And what are you no longer available for? Who are the people? What do you need to set boundaries around? Which is a big key, because many of us, especially as women, we don't have the boundaries we need to accomplish what we want to accomplish in life. We don't have the boundaries we need to really feel at peace, to anchor into our body, to hear our own intuition, because we are our best success strategy. Not some expert out there that tells you what you need to do, how you need to do it. I cannot tell you how many years I spent wondering what was wrong with me because I used some experts' strategy and it just didn't work. Like, what the hell? They are so successful using this. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me. It just didn't align to me. And I kept outsourcing my power to all these experts instead of looking in. My body, aligned with my mind, knows exactly the strategy that I need, not someone else. That's what I want you to do. Figure out what your strategy is on the inside, not what someone tells you it needs to be. Because you don't manifest by writing 100 goals. And I know that because I've done it. You manifest by becoming someone who no longer entertains anything that's out of alignment with them. That's how you manifest. Follow your joy. Number 5, start creating from truth, not tactics. Stop relying on cookie cutter strategies, blueprints, or what the marketing world tells you is proven. Instead, start with you, your energy, your lived experience, your message, your desires. If the strategy isn't rooted in your truth, it will never feel sustainable or magnetic. You will not feel good about it. People have said, you've achieved a lot of success. Yes, I did. However, it was out of force. It was out of push. It was out of chasing. It was after making it happen, which gave me a divorce, gave me unhappiness, unfulfillment. I don't even know if that's a word. We're going to go with it. Unfulfillment. If it isn't, it should be. And now that I live my life in alignment, I follow my joy. I follow my strategy and my authority. Life is so much easier. I have never been happier. And I have success and fulfillment. So much more success than I ever had before. So really, I don't want you to think about this as, oh God, if I slow down, I'm going to lose everything. No, if you slow down, you're going to gain everything. You're going to gain your life back with more success than you ever thought possible. Reconnect with your identity. Who are you without the pressure to prove, perform, or be perfect? That is a big one. I have spent my life overachieving, performing to get attention, to get acknowledgement, to get love. I really knew no other way given my background. Once I stopped doing that, everything changed. Because this is about remembering why you started. Reclaiming the version of you that's magnetic as fuck just by being you. Dropping the personas or tactics that were never yours to begin with. 2026 is about being authentically you. Live your truth, not someone else's. Don't dim your light. This is not the time to rush into funnels, launches, or 90-day plans. December isn't the time to get lost in execution. Most people try to do their way into success. More action, more things. I got to do it more. No. If you're disconnected from your truth, your energy will be scattered and distorted, and you'll run around in circles. You'll never achieve what you could have if you were in alignment. Strategy should support your identity, not replace it. So let 2026 be built from your embodiment, not your intellect. Get out of your head, get into your body. Don't think your way into the next level. Feel it, embody it, live it. Because when you're embodied, your audience can feel it. Your clients can feel it. You're magnetic not because you're performing, but because you're telling the truth, and your body knows it. Because success doesn't start with, what should I do? It starts with, who am I becoming, and what would she create? If you want to learn more, I really encourage you, join Success by Design. We talk about this shit together. We really get into this. We speak to it based on your specific human design, based on psychology, behavioral science, neuroscience. You're in a community with like-minded people who are experiencing the same challenges, the same levels of success. It's not just me you're learning from. It's amazing, amazing people. I hope to see you there. Have a wonderful holiday. Thanks for tuning in to Burn On Not Out. If this resonated, check the show notes for tools and resources to help you slow down, trust yourself, and keep leading without the constant pressure and stress that wears you down. Remember, real success doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from slowing down long enough to see clearly and leading from clarity and peace instead of control and fear. I'll see you next week.